Hi, everybody. I'm excited to tell you we have our first story time. We got into story time from a lady named Jen. Well, that's what she wants to be called for this story time. And this is a story time about her when she is about to enter midlife and something that happened to her that she thought would never happen to her. So I have read through her email and, you know, seen what her experience was. So I'm going to relate her experience to you here. And Jen, thank you for sending this in because, according to what you've said to me, you understand that possibly maybe people are not speaking about things like sex and dating as much when they come up to midlife. You're saying that this is something that happened to you before, just before you entered midlife, or you realized you entered midlife. And again, something that you thought would never happen to you, but also something that was a different experience. So, Jen actually lets us know that she was at this time not actively dating for a period of 5 years. She says that she was missing male energy in her life and she wanted to see if she could maybe start dating again and hopefully find a relationship. She's used to long term relationships. She's used to having somebody in her life that is constant and consistent. She had been married before and then divorced for quite a while. And now she hadn't been in any type of relationship and not having anything to do with, let's say, somebody romantically for the last 5 years because she was focused on her career. So she says that she's been going out on dates for like coffee dates recently. Joined an online dating site and she'd been going out on some coffee dates recently, but she hadn't really met anybody suitable and hadn't even gone out on a second date. So, things were not really, I would say, working out from, my viewpoint. Jen then says she spoke to a good friend of hers who said to her, the online dating site is probably not the way to find the best person for you. So you should go ahead and see if you can meet people where you go on a daily basis. I wouldn't, me personally, suggest everywhere you go on a daily basis. But for Jen's story, her friend expressed that to her. And she says she thought that was a good idea. So she started becoming more open to meeting people when she would go out, whether it was to the store or wherever she would go around town. So she went about that for a few months. She didn't really have any luck. Her friend then had to have a procedure done. Jen says she went into the hospital to visit her friend. When she was visiting her friend, um, she had the doctor come into her room while Jen was there. And after the doctor was finished, Jen went back to talk to her and said, the doctor was a very good looking man, but he looks like he's so young. So her friend said, "Ah, that's nice that you like him. Maybe you should talk to him or say something to him." Um, and the doctor was happened to be outside the room when Jen finished visiting with her friend. I guess he was doing his documentation or whatever on Jen's chart. So Jen said hi to the doctor and ended up asking him for his number. He gave Jen his number and asked for hers, and she gave him her number. And he then ended up, calling her a couple days later. She said that she didn't think he would ever call or she wouldn't hear from him again. And it kind of made her nervous to do that because she was not the kind of person to be that forward. She had a more traditional outlook on, dating and, women or men asking and the different roles and, the more traditional roles. So she then goes on to say that he called her about 2 days later and asked her if she wanted to go out. And she said yes, she did want to go out. So she went out with him and they had a good time. According to her, they seemed to hit it off. She said they had a good time. She found him to be very attractive and felt very attracted to him while they were together. And the feeling or the energy she got from him was that he was attracted also. So she was able to feel comfortable with him, she said, and that was a good thing for her. And they just had basic chit chat. She said she felt that she really needed to let him know how old she was because he looked like he was quite a bit younger than she was. So she says she told him she was 48 and he told her he was 29. So, yeah, that is quite a bit of a difference. So, Jen said after that they started seeing each other maybe around, let's see, they started seeing each other once a week or so and went for more coffee, for drinks. They went to the movies. They met a few times, she says, over about a month. And then he asked her to come over to his apartment where he lived. So Jen says she went over to his apartment and they were having drinks and just relaxed and begin to get more close and more intimate, I would say. So kissing and hugging, and she says that they ended up in the bedroom and they ended up, you know, having sex, having intercourse. Jen says that she really thought that she might not be able to manage. She says that he was very well endowed. He was a very handsome guy, very well endowed, young and healthy, and she was very attracted to him. She says, I thought I wouldn't be able to, manage, but I was so attracted to him and so worked up that I was very ready and it was really good. Jen says that she started having multiple orgasms. It was the first time in her life that had happened to her. That's a plus. And she says that while she was orgasming, she had a strange experience. And she says that the strange experience felt like she was out of her body. She didn't know where she was or what had happened. And then she fainted. When she woke up, all she could remember is him asking her if she wanted some water. He had a glass of water, asking her if she had wanted some water. But she was just concerned about what had happened because that hadn't happened to her before. That's interesting. So Jen then goes on to say that she felt a bit uncomfortable because that was something new for her. Although she says, although she felt safe with him, she still was concerned that that had happened to her. So she thought it's better to go home. Although he wanted to continue on. I'm sure he did. So Jen said she went into the bathroom to actually freshen up before she was going. And while she was in the bathroom, she noted that there were things in there that indicated that there was a woman living in the apartment, or a woman that had things in the apartment. So she was disappointed. She felt that he probably had somebody in his life because she said, when I thought about it, there's no way that this young, attractive doctor could really not have anybody that he was involved with in any way. And I didn't think to ask him about it because I thought, he seemed so upfront and straightforward that he would have mentioned it to me if that was the case, that he was involved with someone. Well, we know men. So I got my things together and I, told him thank you. He was concerned about me and said maybe you should wait a while. But I didn't want to wait because I knew that I was really silly, she says, for even being here, being involved with him and thinking this would come to anything or would be anything in the future. So I left. And I didn't answer his calls. He did call to make sure I was home okay. That call I did answer. I texted him back to tell him that I was okay. I did answer that. But after that, I didn't answer any of his calls or texts. For about 6 months after, he called and texted me asking me if I wanted to go out, if everything was okay, and I never answered. So I'm not sure I did the right thing. What do you think? Okay. So what do you guys think? Do you think that there was maybe a chance that something could be there between them? Should she have asked him about the things she saw in the bathroom to say, did he have somebody or did he not in his life? And maybe why he didn't say anything? Or should she have done what she did, just left it at that? And do you think with that age difference, 29 and 48, that's a lot of years. Do you think that maybe there could have been something between them? Maybe even a friends with benefits, or maybe a long-term type of relationship. It is something that is, I guess, a personal thing as far as I'm concerned. But let me know what you think. And thank you, Jen, for sharing that story with us. And anybody else that has a story time, it doesn't have to be anything about, love, dating, or anything like that. Something PG so that I can actually share it on this channel would be great. And if not, well, I'll work with it and see what we can do. But share your stories with us so that we can all kind of have an understanding of the experiences we had and we can learn, or we've had and we can learn from each other. And I'll be coming with one of my story times about one of my experiences. Maybe not something this saucy, but one of my experiences coming up. And again, thank you very much, Jen, for sharing your story time with us. And thank you for being a subscriber. And everybody, please remember, like, share, and subscribe. And we'll have more story times. Also, I'm doing now my vlogmas, my mini vlogmas with the Kiehl's Advent calendar. And then I'm going to start doing the face care and have a series of the before and afters from that, as well as the regular news updates I give you on the research and the news for menopause, midlife, and for women's health in general. If you have any other ideas, also let me know. But check out the description box and keep in touch and share, like, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye bye.